Hi, my name is Janet and I am here for you, health coach. I like to teach people that healthy is easy, and I do that by preparing and showing you some recipes you can do in your kitchen the next time you want to make something. The key to being healthy is having those foods in front of you that you can prepare and recipes that are easy. Tonight I'm going to make for you some chicken meatballs, and I'm going to show you how to do that right now. I'm going to use this chicken that I got. It's all natural with no hormones. We're just going to put that in there, and that's about 1.5 pounds of chicken. And then I'm going to add some onion powder. We're going to go 1 teaspoon of that. I have garlic powder. I'm going to use 1 teaspoon of that, and I'm trying to stick within the Asian spice realm. I'm going to use 1/2 teaspoon of cumin. Cumin is a beautiful flavor. Whoops, there's cumin. And then I have coriander. Coriander is the cilantro seed, and it's got a light sweet flavor to it. So I'm going to put about 1/2 teaspoon of that in there. I'm going to use some pepper, 1 teaspoon of salt. I have pink Himalayan sea salt. I'm going to put liquid amino in there. This is gluten-free soy sauce, so we're sticking in the gluten-free world here. And I'm going to put 1 tablespoon of that into our meatball mixture. And then I also have a little bit less, about 1/3 cup of almond flour. So again, we're keeping it gluten-free. And I have fresh ginger. This is a ginger root, and I've peeled it. And I'm just going to use my microplane and grate it. And it's really simple to do. If you've never used a ginger root, you see them at the grocery store and you're a little bit worried about what to do with it, buy yourself a microplane. And you can do this. So it comes right off into a pulp. I'm going to do a little bit more. So we're staying in those Asian flavors. I've got 1 cage-free grass-fed egg. I'm going to put that in there. And then I'm going to mix it all together. Now I'm just going to mix these all together. And you could do this the night before if you want to come home from work and have dinner ready to go. This is a very easy recipe to make up the night before. Roll your meatballs out and then pop them in the oven right when you come home from work. Okay? So, how's that? Not too bad. Pretty fast. All done. These are going to be baked in the oven. I'm not going to fry them. We're going to save on fat and have them really healthy. So they're going to not be a perfect little round, which is fine. They don't have to be far apart on the board because they don't expand like if you were baking. And they're going to bake on 425 for about 10 to 12 minutes. So they feel wet. Don't let that be concerning to you. They bake up just fine because it is chicken after all. While the meatballs are in the oven, you can make the sauce, and then when the meatballs come out of the oven, you put it right into the sauce and let them cook for about another 10 minutes to incorporate flavors, or you could let them cook longer in the sauce and it's going to just make them more marinated and more delicious. I have organic ketchup here. It's important to look for good ketchup that doesn't have corn syrup, so this one does not have any corn syrup. And I am going to put a whole cup of ketchup in here. You might be thinking, ketchup? But you'll see where I'm going. We're going to have an Asian sauce, and the ketchup gives it sweetness and flavor, and also depth, thickness. So I have that there. I'm going to put in honey. I have some beautiful honey I got from the guy that sells them on the side of the road. And I'm going to put in 3 tablespoons of honey. Oh, I'm going to put in a little bit of sesame seed oil. And sesame seed oil has a beautiful deep flavor to it. So we're going to put about a tablespoon of that in. I'm going to get, I love the flavor of this. It has so many different ingredients in it. If you haven't looked at the ingredients, look at the ingredients. And I use it in a lot of things. It adds a lot of depth and flavor. And I'm all about flavor. So we're going to do a teaspoon of that. I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of the liquid aminos. Again, it's gluten-free soy sauce. So we're going to put that in there. I'm going to put in some of the ginger. I want to dry this guy off a little. And garlic. So I'm going to go put a teaspoon of the garlic in here. And then again, the fresh ginger. If you have powdered ginger, that's fine. You can use a teaspoon of powdered ginger. Once you really start playing with cooking and flavors, you're going to notice the difference of the fresh ginger is just really crazy. So I really prefer to use the fresh. So we're going to put that in there. I'm not going to add any additional salt at this point because the liquid aminos is salty. As it cooks, you can taste for salt. And now I'm going to mix these guys up. So you can see the sauce is nice and thick, which is what I want. And when you cook it, it's going to thicken up even a little bit more. If you want, you can add a little bit of water to it. And then I have some cut scallions, the little green onions. I'm going to put that in there. And I have a pack of crushed red pepper for heat. We have all that sweetness from the honey and sweetness from the ketchup. So I'm going to put the peppers in there to give it a little bit of heat. Here's our done meatballs. They cooked in the oven for about 12 minutes. And then I've put them here in the sauce. And you could let them stay in the sauce for quite some time. It's just going to get better and better covered so that it keeps all that moisture inside. You could serve it on a bed of green or with some rice, however you like. There we have our chicken meatballs. Thank you for watching this. I hope you've learned some tips about making meatball in your kitchen. And if you'd like to leave me a message on Facebook or Instagram, I'll get your messages and I will return them. If you have any recipe questions, please be sure and ask. And I would be happy to set up a free consultation for you if you'd like to learn more about health coaching. Thank you.